So then about semi-synthetic antibiotics. So what do you mean by semi-synthetic antibiotics? Those are naturally occurring antibiotics which are chemically modified. Already these antibiotics are naturally produced from the soil microorganisms and then they are chemically modified. That is semi-synthetic antibiotics. Then why is it modifying these antibiotics? It is to enhance the beneficial effects, to minimize the undesirable effects, and then to increase the solubility, increase the stability, and also it helps to improve the pharmacokinetics, that is wider distribution and longer half-life. Then a clinically useful antibiotics should have as many of these characteristics as possible. So what are the characteristics? It should have a wide spectrum of activity with the ability to destroy or inhibit many different species of pathogenic organisms. That means it should have a broad spectrum of activity. Then it should be non-toxic to the host and without undesirable side effects, because there are most of the antibiotics are now available with more side effects. So the ideal antibiotic should be non-toxic to the host. That means it should exhibit selective toxicity with minimal side effects to the host. That means it should be bactericidal rather than bacteriostatic. Then it should be non-allergenic to the host. Sometimes there are certain antibiotics such as example penicillin. Some of the persons are allergic to the penicillin. So an ideal antibiotic should be non-allergenic to the patient or to the host. It should not eliminate the normal flora of the host. That is another important criteria, because most of the after the intake of a dose of antibiotics, most of the persons should take vitamin tablets along with these antibiotics. Why? Because most of our normal flora could be destroyed by the antibiotic intake. That's why to flourish this normal flora within our body, there is a need of taking these vitamins. Okay, so an ideal antibiotic, it should not eliminate the normal flora of the host. Next point, it should be able to reach the part of the human body where the infection is occurring. So the antibiotics should be able to reach the part where the infection is occurring. Sometimes it may, apart from reaching those area, it may also affect other organs too. So that is an important criteria of an ideal antibiotic. Then next point, it should be inexpensive and easy to produce. Then it should be chemically stable also. It should have a long shelf life. Then most of the antibiotics should not exhibit microbial resistance. So nowadays this antibiotic resistance is very common. But in the case of an ideal antibiotic, microbial resistance is uncommon and unlikely to develop. So I think it is not possible for an antibiotic to remain without any resistance, because prolonged intake or improper intake of any antibiotics, sometimes it may result in developing antibiotic resistance in our body. So these are the important ideal characteristics an antibiotic should have. So in the next class, we can discuss mode of action and different classes of antibiotics. Okay, thank you all.